You don't have too much time to spend with us because you have a sound check because you're playing tonight.
Yes.
Finally back. Here we have John Deacon. Identify yourself over there. Speak up.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
I can barely hear you, just barely.
It's easily afternoon.
Yes. And in the middle there, Brian May. Not on guitar right now, but on microphone.
Very soon to be on guitar again. Hi, Max.
Barely audible, though.
Hello.
And Fred Mercury. Hello, Freddie.
Hello, Maxanne. Hello, people.
We can barely hear all of you. I've got it all the way up here. You're going to have to really lean into it. Let's try it one more time, all together.
We're very quietly spoken, but hello.
Okay.
We're quite outrageous, really.
You're going to be outrageous tonight. What time is that show?
We certainly are.
8 o'clock tonight?
Yes, about 8 o'clock.
Preceded by the Kate Brothers.
That's right.
Yes.
Who you've played with once now.
And then you can come and see Queen.
This is what, the second show nationwide? We're being treated to the second performance. Played once already in Waterbury.
That's right.
Connecticut. So it's possible that somebody listening right out there right now is saying, I was there
Yes,
for the first one.
We've only done one so far, yes, we have.
It's the just rehearsal for the big night here at the music hall.
It was a performance. We met a couple of people from Waterbury in Boston, actually, and they said they'd come over, they seen it in Waterbury, and they came over to see us again, so thank you, folks.
What's going to be the newest thing about the show tonight? What's going to be just absolutely new we've never seen before? Besides songs from the new album. You're going to be doing songs from the new album.
We do some, yeah. It's not really a revolution, it's an evolution.
Oh, wow. 2 big words.
That's my bit for today. No, it's some of the ingredients, some of the old ingredients that you want to hear, I hope, are still there, but there's a lot of new stuff, and it's all rearranged, and it's a lot bigger and better, and...
Yes, it's a totally new show, actually. It really is. It's a new show we've taken on the road with the new album, so anything goes. Lots of new costumes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Lots of lovely fireworks, if we get to put them off.
Oh.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Never mind, that won't stop the show.
We don't have anyone from the fire department listening right now, so I
Hello,
swear.
Mr. Fire Marshal.
Yes.
We love you too.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
We've been anxiously anticipating this performance ever since the album came away, ever since the last tour, but especially since the album came out, because the album has so many new things on it, so many new approaches. But it does continue in the Queen tradition.
Good.
Yes.
Good, I think so.
Familiar things on it as well as some new things.
We've dabbled in slightly different areas this time. We've come up with some new things, yes.
Tell us about
Took us about 4 months to record.
That's what I was just going to ask. 4 months?
3.5, 4 months, yeah. Hard, slogging labour. But it's turned out pretty good, yes. We're really pleased with it.
Oh, I'm about ready to play one track from the album, but maybe if I tell you the name of the track I'm about to play, you can say in a little bit more detail than just, well, we went into a studio and we did it. What goes into making a track like this? 39, for instance. There's a lot of different parts to it. Brian?
Well, that's one of mine. What went into it? I suppose it goes back to Lonnie Donegan. Did you hear about Lonnie Donegan over here?
Skiffle, that's all I...
Yeah, skiffle. And it turned out to be more sort of folky than skiffly, I think, in the end. And words-wise, it's about a spaceman.
So what's the whole year? What's it? 2039?
39. It's supposed to be
Somebody
some
asked me that
ambiguity,
today.
so you're not supposed to know whether it's 1939 or 2039 or whatever.
So make up your own
But
interpretation.
it's written as a
folks.
folk song.
But it's a message. But what actually, like when you go into the studio and you have a song, okay, you come in and banks of tape recorders are awaiting you and all the things that are possible to do in a studio, and you have this song that's just a skeleton framework of notes and words. What do you actually sit down and say, okay, I have to do this?
Well, by that time we've already gone through loads of arguments in routine.
Oh, I was just
how
going to
we're
say
going
that.
to do it.
We just row, and then in the end, one of us is the one that survives takes over.
Survival of the fittest, yeah.
No, we have it sort of routine to a certain extent, and then we sort of put the basic backing track down, and then we work on that, and a lot of it is spontaneity, depending on how it goes. Whoever song it is, like if Brian, say 39, he has a particular idea of how it ought to turn out, and then anything goes really, but it's like he dominates that sort of session and makes sure that, right to its sort of end, makes sure that he's in complete control.
So a lot of it is what you've been thinking of putting on top of your original idea in the first place, and some of it has to do with what maybe comes up as a suggestion within the process of recording.
Yeah. The trick is making the best of the song, and at the same time making the best use of the band that you have, I think.
True. There are a lot of sort of sounds you can have in your head of what you want on it, but when you go to the studio, a lot of things can evolve. So you can say, oh, you can forget what you thought at the beginning and say, oh, well, that's a nice sort of treatment. Let's try it that way.
Did that happen to this song? Did you go in having it all finished in your mind and have it change, or did it really?
No, I was still
come out
writing it
pretty
in the
much?
studio.
He's still writing it.
It's not
The
really
Prophet
finished,
song
actually.
hasn't finished yet.
Some of these things went on for so long, it turned into a nightmare, actually. But this one was fairly painless, compared with some of the tracks I could talk about.
This is the track 39 from Night at the Opera.
Hello, hello, this is Queen from England, featuring
John Deacon,
Brian May.
Freddie Mercury and Roger Taylor, asking you to listen to all these ripping records on WBCN.
What a
of
superstation.
Boston.
Does it sound as good as you remembered it sounding?
That was us, folks.
In a past life, a former existence.
Yes.
Speaking of which, what have you been doing while you've been not recording your own album? But I'm cheating. I have something here on the other turntable that Freddie Mercury has ventured into the realm of production, aside from his own.
Oh, that was when I had
productions.
5 minutes up for a cup of tea. No, really, it was sort of, no, it didn't come across that way, did it? It was something that I was asked to do. I was asked to sort of produce a very good friend of mine called Eddie Howell. And I had a few days off just before we came over here. And I thought I'd jump at the opportunity. So used Brian to do use him as a session player. And we had other people on it. John and Roger did not play, I must add, otherwise they'll think it's another Queen sort of session. And I just I just produced it. And it was great fun, really.
This is something very new, though. You've never produced anyone outside of your own records before.
No, not really. Nobody's asked. Actually, I think no, people have asked, but it's just that we haven't had the time, and we've been so busy doing our thing, really, that we haven't.
Is this a
Now
special
all the offers
person
are
for
coming
you?
in.
Is this a longtime friend, or is it just someone who you're interested in artistically?
It's well, it's a recent friend. I sort of happened to know his manager and things, and we got friendly, and then suddenly he said, well, if you've got time, would you like to, do a sort of production thing on it? And I listened to the song and I liked it. I thought I'd help him out. He has a sort of album out, so before I sort of even knew him, and he's on Warner Brothers. Oops. And I think he could do well.
Brian,
It hasn't been released yet.
do you do many sessions?
No, not very many. I was used on this.
Oh, manipulated.
Do you work cheap?
I was a session player. No, it's not something I've ever had. Well, we came into the business by the opposite end, really. We came into the business because we were playing live, and studio work came after. So I never did sessions before we began with the group. And I've done. No, it's not quite true.
You've done a few, yes.
I've done a couple for people, but nothing I'd want to play you, really.
Do you find that most people think of you as such a unit that, it's the four of you together producing these records, that they don't tend to think of you as individual players, and therefore they don't tend to invite you to it's certainly because you're not
Probably, yeah.
proficient enough to do them, because I imagine you could play anything you're asked to play, but...
Oh, I don't know.
But
No, quite honestly, I think it's really that we're very seldom at home, and we don't really have a base anymore. We're hardly ever there. We're either on the road or we're in the studio doing our own stuff, and there really is no time. Nobody believes me. There is no time to do that kind of thing. And Freddie had literally, I think, 3 or 4 days to do this in, and sort of sacrificed what little holiday we had before we came here.
Can you imagine doing a single in 4 days? Well, with the kind of Queen production that we do, 4 days, just about gets set up in that time.
I think
But
it
that was
came out
good,
pretty
it was good.
well. Aside from the bump on the plastic that we're going to be treated to in the...
Oh yes, don't
first,
listen
this
to the
is
bump.
just, yes, don't listen to the bump. Why don't you give us the formal introduction on this?
It's called The Man from Manhattan, and this is Eddie Howell.
It
did you love me?
Oh, yes, it is tracking heavily, folks. That sounds very nice, though. Very nice. I know you have to run off. You have to do a sound check and get
Yes.
that all straight for tonight.
One must make a living.
Yes, but I have included here on the turntable, fabulous turntable number 2 over here, your other pick hit, which is the John Lennon tune that you requested.
Oh, I think we all love this one, actually. It's one of the nicest singles ever made. Really. Really sincerely mean that.
Would you like to leave?
Well done, Johnny.
Makes you cry, this one.
Well, you do the crying.
It's amazing.
So this is sort of the thought for the day, as well as
Yes, I know it's
for this
Christmas
year.
is over and everything, but it's
No,
a lovely
war is
song.
over.
It's war is over, happy Xmas and all that.
okay.
And so this
lovely.
is war. Happy, no.
And so this is Christmas. Come on, folks, let's hear it.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
I hope you'll continue to stop by throughout the years, once a year.
This is becoming a habit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Queen come to town.
We'll see you tonight, folks.
See you tonight.
And tomorrow night.
And tomorrow night.
We'll have lots of fun.
Thank you.